I've had a busy day already today. This is April the 2nd in 2013, and this is our video blog for today. I met this morning at 8:30 with Heartbeat of Washington group, and we talked about plans. We're going to do an Earth Day thing here downtown on it's going to culminate on April 20th. It actually starts before that. And then we talked about the Rail Fest, and we have a Rail Fest committee meeting later today at 4:15. And I stopped off and got some coffee at the coffee shop, and I went over and talked to Eric Basler. I tried to, but I couldn't get it through to him. And part of the reason I want to talk to him is I left my flatbed truck out there in front of the Indiana Theater so that Blaine Calber could use it to throw stuff on, so I could take it to the landfill for the theater owner, who's a friend of mine. But I'm also trying to get the theater open again. And it looks like it may be open by the end of the summer. We shall see. I came down and checked on the museum, and I had the boiler man from the state come, and I had to talk to him. And I went down in the boiler room, and he gave me some instructions on how to finalize closing the boiler off. So that's another plate I have to spin here in the next few weeks. Then I went down to the steamer and got some lunch because I'd already missed breakfast. And then I went down to the VFW and took care of some Washington Catholic business. And I talked to Sue Theroff, who's a volunteer here, and her husband were down there, and we talked a little bit of museum business, ended up. And then I went over to the Bill Dobson and talked to them about the Rail Fest and doing a promotion during Rail Fest weekend, and whether or not we could do a do a test drive fundraiser. But we can't do that this year, so I'm going to send him an email here later about that so we can maybe get it in the pipeline for next year's Rail Fest. Then I went to a meeting at the depot, and that was a Visitors Bureau meeting, and I talked to them about the Rail Fest. And I left there and went up the street and talked to a few businesses about the Rail Fest as I was walking back to the museum, and here I am. And I just dealt with the Washington Hatchet student that comes here, and we got him on a project, and I'm getting ready to go upstairs and work on the newsletter, which needs to go out this week. So it sounds like I'm doing a lot, and I am. We have a few other research projects that Ken and I need to work on for inquiries that have come in, and I'm sure Don Cosby will be around later today, I hope, and we could talk to him. So that's the beginning point of this, and it may be the end point because this is pretty long.
I am getting ready to prepare a promotional flyer for the spring program and annual meeting, which has just been announced. It's going to be on April the 28th, and the meeting will be at 12:30, and at 1:30 we will have the spring program, which is the final, in all likelihood, opportunity for you to take Don Cosby's Historic Washington bus tour. And the tickets will be $10 for the bus tour, and the annual meeting is welcome to all active members of the society. So that's been announced, and you can RSVP by calling us, and we will probably be talking to Don about that in the near future. I know the route is going to be slightly different this time, so if you've done it before, it may be worth doing it again. And if you know how to make promotional posters that are have a little more flair and are slightly less utilitarian, you can email us, dchistory@sbcglobal.net, and make them slightly less embarrassing to look at than mine are when people see them.
What day? This is Tuesday, isn't it? Tuesday afternoon, and we're up in the museum. I'm working with Roy Wachter, a local author, and he's written a play on the Blue Hole, which is going to be this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday's sold out already, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
And so we're up here getting some props, so we take pictures of what they're taking out of the museum and taking out to Veal Creek. So this stuff, and we're going to have to thank Jim Hammersley for some of this. He just donated some of this. So it's come into the museum and heading right back out, these bowls and things. And these chairs, we got this chair and the one that Ken's sitting in, are going out for stage props. And we have several other props out there that are from the museum. So the museum works closely with Veal Creek Theater to put on plays. And we've actually had some Veal Creek plays here in the museum. So Roy, you wrote a book about the legend of the Blue Hole, and you've written this play. How much distance was there between the book and the play?
Several years.
What inspired you to write the play?
Well, Karen Durrell asked me to,
Yeah.
and then Elka Garage encouraged me some more and told me to do it. And I said, well, okay, I'll do it. And I thought I could, and I was able to. Had to add a new character in the play. It was not in the book, though.
Yeah.
I wanted to get it to work.
Right.
And drop some scenes, of course.
Yes. Now this is, we're experiencing at this moment the 100th anniversary of the tragedy of the Blue Hole. The train went in on March 28th. 27th on 8 o'clock at night at over the Blue Hole Trestle. And that was in 1913. And so part of the motivation to do this was a 100th anniversary marking of that tragedy on the Blue Hole Trestle way back in 1913. So we were just looking at some of the old newspapers. The actual newspapers were back behind us from that time period, and it's interesting to read through that. Roy corrected me on one mistake I made. I thought he made a mistake, but I was wrong, and I'm saying this on the record.
All right.
Yes. But the way that the engine went out to the Blue Hole, it was a push-pull engine from the yard, and the engine and the tender car pushed the box cars out to the Blue Hole area. And when they were going over the trestle, they were backing. The tender car was backing first, then the engine and the box cars. So when the 6 men went in, the tender car and the engine went in, and it uncoupled from the box cars, saving the 85 guys in the box cars from going into the water with them, or we'd have had an unbelievable disaster if that had happened.
Yes.
So we're very fortunate that they weren't all drowned or in the water. So that's how it happened. The engine was facing west when they went out, and they were backing over the trestle when they went into the river. 6 men went in, and only 2 came out alive.
Okay, folks, that is the end of the video blog for today. We are getting ready for a Railfest committee meeting downstairs. We'll be talking about finalizing some details of the art show and some advertising and probably plenty of other things as well. So we hope you're enjoying these, and we will talk to you tomorrow.